Hi guys, my name is Dede. Welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, it's lovely to have you. But if you're old, hey boo, it's nice to have you back. Just like you have in your shot, today I'm going to teach you how to make the easiest and the best tasting fish pie, the Ghanaian style. Okay, this style can actually be used anywhere in this world. So if you're interested in this video, let's get right into it. I'm going to start by mixing my dry ingredients. So in my bowl I have 8 cups of soft flour. You can go ahead and use all-purpose flour. I've also added a little bit of salt and some baking powder. We're going to mix all of this together and then we can add our margarine. I love to use margarine for my pies. I don't know, but it just gives me a very nice flavor and taste, which I love. So yes, Ghanaian meat pies too, we go with margarine. So we're going to be pressing and then mixing this margarine with the flour until we have a sandy texture, just like so. Now we're going to create a hole in the flour mixture and we're going to add in some cold water. This water has ice in there, but I'm not placing the ice in the mixture. The ice is just in the water sitting there. I'm going to give you the exact quantities we need for this recipe, so do not worry at all. They're all going to be in the description box below, so click on that arrow and check in the description box. With this recipe you need to make sure you're using the correct quantities, so please get a measuring cup or a scale and then measure accordingly. So we've mixed all of the water up with the flour and then we've made a dough just like this. So I'm going to be rolling this dough and I'll be keeping them in a cling film and placing them in my refrigerator to be cooling as I go on to do my filling. Okay, if this is your first time joining us on this channel, a warm welcome to you. I hope you subscribe to this channel and join this amazingly growing family. We would love to have you here, okay? And we know that we have amazing perfect recipes on this channel that will never make you fail. Whatever meal you want, I'm sure you can get it on this channel. If you don't see some that you want, just leave me a comment in the comment section below telling me what you want me to help you cook, okay? And I'm going to do just that. It's almost Christmas, so it's all about giving, okay? So I feel like I have to give you guys amazing recipes as well. So this is how we're wrapping our dough. I like to press it a little bit just to flatten it somewhat, so that when it gets to the time for me to roll, it's really easy for me to roll. So for our filling, we're going to be using some tuna and some sardines. So here I have 5 cans of tuna and I'll be using 3 cans of sardines as well. At the end of this recipe, I'll be telling you which one was my favorite. So stay tuned to the very end, okay? So what I'm trying to do right now is to drain the water or oil off the tuna, and I'll be doing the same with the sardines. Trust me, the best way to do this is to get a nice drainer and strain the moisture out of the tuna or sardines. It's really easier that way. This one was just a hassle for me, okay? So here is all of my tuna. I'm going to go ahead and do the same to the sardines. The sardines are pretty easier to do, okay? It's just quite easy to do. So just make sure that as you open the tins, you do not cut yourself, because when you cut yourself, it's going to be pretty difficult for you to be working with your dough. You can't be working with your dough while wearing gloves. I don't know how that is going to be like, but you don't want to go through all of that, okay? So once we are done pouring out the sardines, we are going to break them up into tiny pieces. I hope you're enjoying this recipe so far. I have another recipe, a pie recipe, that's meat pie, and that recipe was a hit. Everybody loved it, so I'm pretty sure you guys are going to love this as well. Fish pie is so refreshing and it's just so amazing. So to my sardines, I've added some chopped onions, which are not too tiny, some black pepper and some salt to taste. Mix all of them up, give it a taste, and if the salt is okay, you move on to the tuna and we do the same thing. Now to the onions, make sure you do not chop them too tiny. When the pie is done, you want to see that warm, chunky, not too chunky onions in your pie, and it's really refreshing to bite into. To the tuna, I have added onions, garden peas, some black pepper, and also some salt to taste. These stuff already have salt in them, so please be careful with the salt content or the salt quantity that you add, okay? I'll still be leaving all of the ingredients in the description box below, so do not forget to check them out. Once our filling is also done, it's time to assemble this pie and get it in the oven. At this point, you can set your oven to 180 degrees and then have it to preheat. On my chopping board or on my workstation, I have put some flour there, just a little bit of flour, and I've placed my dough. What I'm doing now is trying to spread this dough. That's rolling it. You don't want to press this dough too hard. What I do is to press and pull, press and drag. That way I'm not applying gluten to the dough. When you press it up and down, back and forth too much, what you're going to be doing is to be activating the gluten in the dough, and it's going to be stretchy. That's how come some people make pies and then it's dry like that. No, we don't want any dry pie over here. We want flaky, delicious pie dough. Okay, and that is what I'm trying to achieve with you guys today. So please make sure you just drop the rolling pin and pull or pull back, pull forward or pull backwards. Do not drag it too much, and also make sure you're using just the quantity that can give you one dough. That way you're not stretching or overstretching the dough altogether. Okay, I said the same thing in my meat pie video and everybody loved it. It worked perfectly for everybody, so we can use this as well. What I'm trying to do here is to design my dough. Nobody sent me, I sent myself. Okay. If you ain't got time for this, please just scrape this part. But I just wanted something different, and I was able to achieve it with this my colander or whatever it's called. Okay, I was just able to get a really nice design on my pie dough, which is this. You may want to try it. You can just look through your kitchen, see if you can find anything with a nice design you can place on your dough. Make sure you wash it very well because it's going directly on your dough. Also, my pie cutter is my lid as well. If you've watched my meat pie video, you know this is a constant on my channel. I use a lid as my pie cutter, and it gives me the perfect pie shape and size that I desire so much. It's just beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna walk you guys through how I assemble this pie. So I cut the dough size that I want, place a little bit of flour, sprinkle a little bit of flour on my workstation, place the dough on top, and then sprinkle a little bit of flour on my dough and on my rolling pin. See how I'm not applying pressure on this pin? Yes, just drop, pull, drop, stretch, drop, drag. Okay, I'm not like pressing back and forth. Okay, because like I said before, no gluten at all do we want in this flour or in this dough. So once we are done, I place my cutter on there, which is my lid, and then I cut it into the size that I want. Take the extra dough off there, and now here we have our perfectly shaped dough. Okay, anything more beautiful? No. So I'm going to place that my designer thing on it, and just roll nicely and get a pretty nice design. Then flip it over, put my filling on top, put as much as you want. I don't like my pie half filled, I like it super filled. Okay, that way as I enjoy the crunch of the dough on the outside or something, in the inside I'm enjoying delicious flavored meat or fish. Okay, so use as much as you want. That is all up to you, totally or entirely up to you. Now I flip my pie over and try to get the edges to come together. Then I pin them down with my index finger. I don't know, it's just beautiful for me. I love to use this than to use a fork. This is just clean and beautiful. So you may want to try that as well. Also, I made some of this pie without the designer cutter. A designer cutter. I made one without using it, and I think the plain one is also beautiful as well. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you like the one with the design or without the design? Over here, I'm trying to fill my dough with the sardine filling, and it was just good as well, just so good. So like I said, use as much as you want or as little as you want. You see the thickness of our pie, of our dough. The dough is not too thin, it's perfectly thick. That way you can enjoy some nice delicious crunch in the dough as well. Okay, not too thin that it's just fish all through. No, we are enjoying both at the same time because that dough is really good. Like I said, this one is the plain one. You just use the same process and then pin them down with your index finger. I did not apply any water whatsoever on the edges before flipping them over, and none came off. I mean, this was This pie baked so beautifully. I was even surprised. It was just so good. Surprised? No, I know what I'm capable of. So I'm teaching you guys the best process. Use that, okay? So once we're done molding our pies, we're going to apply an egg wash to the top, and that's going to leave a beautiful golden crust. The egg wash is just one egg that I beat, okay, and then I brush it to the top. That is going to leave a beautiful golden crust. Also, I'm going to use a fork to create holes on top of the pie so that if there's any air trapped in there, it can come out from there and not try to open the pie. We're going to bake this at 180 degrees for about 35 minutes, okay? And also depending on your oven. So know your oven and then just go gentle on these pies. That way you don't burn them. After about 35 to 40 minutes, our pies are ready, and look how beautiful these look. Make sure you transfer them onto a cooling rack. That way the bottom crust does not get soggy, okay? Now, tell me this is not perfection. You guys, please subscribe to this channel because there's so many amazing recipes here. Just look at this, okay? Just look at this. It looks so good. It looks so good. You can enjoy it with whatever you want. You can have it as breakfast, as a snack, with Malta Guinness, chilled Malta Guinness, with some cold Milo, or whatever you want to have it with. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe for sure. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe and join this amazing family. See you next time. Bye.